What is going on, guys? It's TC and MarkyB here, and I know you've not heard from me in a vlog form in a couple of days. At least I think it's been a couple of days. I'm pretty sure it's been a couple of days. But anyway, let's get into the video, and what I'm talking about today is obviously why I believe that Black Ops 2 was a better Call of Duty game than Call of Duty 4. I mean, first of all, before I get into this, right, I would like to say that Call of Duty 4 was honestly an amazing game. I mean, don't get me wrong here, guys. Don't get me wrong here in this video. Call of Duty 4 was one of the best Call of Duties ever. It really started the new generation, the Modern Warfare games. It was the very first Modern Warfare shooter, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was. But anyway, it was a first of its time, and it really did innovate. It was something new that Infinity Ward brought to the table. They introduced a couple of things like kill streaks, the class system, all that stuff, the perk system, all those good things that you know and love, that were first initially brought in by Infinity Ward, and those guys, and all those factors came into play, and they really made Call of Duty an amazing game. Call of Duty 4, sorry, an amazing game. And honestly, the maps, the game modes, they're all brilliant. I mean, domination was great, but when it comes down to it, I believe that Black Ops 2 was a better game. I know for a fact, guys, that's going to be a bitter pill to swallow, but when you actually think about it, if you put Black Ops 2 next to Call of Duty 4, I think you'll easily find that Black Ops 2 is a better game. I mean, for one, Call of Duty 4, hit registration was very poor. Very, very, very poor. Black Ops 2, I mean, it wasn't as good as an Infinity Ward game like Ghosts or Modern Warfare 3 in terms of bullet registration, even Modern Warfare 2, but the Call of Duty 4 bullet registration was awful, and there was a lot of like sort of glitches, like drop shot was very overpowered, just due to like the speed of the game not registering people from standing up to dropping. That sort of motion in between, from standing up to going to the floor, really sort of allowed for a lot of bullshit to happen. There's just a lot of issues in my opinion with the game, but I really think that everyone's opinion of Call of Duty 4. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I thought it was an amazing game and really an innovator to the series of games that came thereafter. But I do think that, like I said, everyone's opinion is sort of driven by this nostalgia factor. A lot of people may have started off on Call of Duty 4. A lot of people that are competing nowadays, their first ever Call of Duty game they played was Call of Duty 4. And that is really where your first experience of the franchise came, and you just had fun, you enjoyed the game, and I think that's where everyone sort of, it opens up a part in your brain where you just remember all these good times, which it was good times, there was a lot of good times, which is what, I mean, you really, fuck all this video, like, when you actually think about it, like, it's all about just having fun, but at the same time, I'm comparing the two games in this video, and when you actually think about it, the game wasn't as good as Black Ops 2. It wasn't. There's no way. There's no way that I think that it was. I mean, domination on CoD4 was okay. I mean, if you actually look at it, there's obviously, everyone's like, oh, the spawns were so strong, and it was really aggressive. Everyone was just slaying. There was a lot of big plays, but really when it came down to it, a lot of people abused nade spots. Nades were like fucking nuclear bombs on that game. You could throw them. You could literally throw a nuclear bomb across the map and get people off flags. There was no counter to it. There was no flak jacket. There was no trophy systems, and I suppose that did add an extra element to the game, a clutch factor. Like if somebody got that massive kill, that massive nade kill, everyone would go fucking wild. But at the same time, I thought it made the game very scrappy and really not as skillful or teamwork orientated as people actually believe. It was just down to a lot of clutch plays as well. People would just camp in buildings near B, wait for people to jump on it and just kill them off it. Obviously, if you did get into that ideal setup where you could push the spawn trap and just push the free cap, just keep pushing them and get more and more points. But when it came down to it, when it came down to the actual really competitive matches that were close, it really did end up into a bit of a camp fest. S&D, obviously amazing on Call of Duty 4. I really have absolutely zero complaints at all. Sabotage, it's alright. But Black Ops 2, hard point. When you think about it, Hardpoint was probably the best Call of Duty. Hardpoint on Black Ops 2 in particular was probably the best combination of game and game mode ever. And I mean, people are going to disagree once again, but I would 100% say so. It took not only amazing teamwork, just general chemistry, just playing with your team. You really started just flowing together. Like, you knew there was just so much to think about. Pinching, anchoring, getting spawns, knowing when not to make it, knowing when dying it would be the worst possible thing in the world, knowing when to not get a kill because you're going to make them spawn out near their next flag. There's just so many elements into the game that people really couldn't comprehend sometimes. It really did make the best teams the best. Like on domination, I'm obviously talking Call of Duty Ghosts now, but if you look at this game now, one team can just get a 4 down and win the game off of that. Just due to the way the maps work and the spawns, people can just really dictate the pace of the game, and just really, people are just walking into your pre-aim constantly. So it's kind of hard to fuck up when you're in that situation. So, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, you can make a mistake and you weren't punished for it. I mean, obviously if it was a very close match and you made a mistake and you lose, that obviously, if the amount of mistakes you're making mount up, then you're going to lose from that. But on Call of Duty Ghosts in this current period of time, I really do feel like one mistake in the game, literally one single mistake, one mistake can cost you a whole map, which shouldn't be the case, and that wasn't the case on any other Call of Duty. But I'm not comparing Ghosts. I'm comparing Call of Duty 4, which is everyone's like, oh, I'm trying to hit a high note there doing that. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? Like, everyone's fucking holy grail of Call of Duty games. No one wants to touch this shit. And then we've got Black Ops 2, which for a lot of people was this exact same thing, but slightly different. It's not the old Call of Duty competitors still don't really see Black Ops 2 as like the one. But really, if you go into the deep psychology of it all, a lot of people's good opinions of Call of Duty 4 are just genuinely from how amazing and fun it was at the time to play it, because there was no other games there to play that were the same. It was something completely new. And maybe that's why, and maybe honestly that's why everyone has such a high opinion of it. Who knows if any other Call of Duty games are actually better than Call of Duty 4. Like, obviously that's your own opinion, but I honestly don't think. I think Black Ops 2 is at the top, and Call of Duty 4 is a close second. Black Ops 2 was the best Call of Duty game ever. And I really wanted to, this is something that I've actually discussed this thing numerous times. I really wanted to gauge your guys' opinions on it. Slide the comments in the section below. Is there any other factors I want to look into here? I mean, the introduction of score streaks was massive. I thought that really brought something new into the franchise, a new element and a real strategical sort of thing that we didn't really have before. A lot of it before was, and a lot of the current game is just gunfights, just simple Call of Duty, and that really did bring an extra sort of factor into the game, duking teams out. Like, if you knew a team had a score streak, you could really bait them out by, like, for example, you could on Raid S&D, you could sit outside and then wait for them to call on their score streaks or waste their score streaks and run inside, and there was just a lot of like factors that came into it. You had to know what, like, sort of how to use the score streaks on. Oh, I just love Black Ops 2, man. I love Black Ops 2, and before I get into the end of this video, guys, I would like to say, make sure you guys sign up to the gfinity.net website, and if you also want to, you can get 5% off, which is only £1. It's only £1, but if you use the code MarkyB, capital M, capital B, all in one, like my name, you all know my alias, but if you use that, you will get 5% off, which equals £1 for an annual membership, 12p off a monthly membership, which isn't a lot, obviously. It's not a lot of money at all, but every little helps. And yeah, fuck that. Anyway, get into it. They're doing a Black Ops 2 tournament, which is what I'm trying to say. They're doing a Black Ops 2 tournament on, I believe it's on the 28th of this month. And if it's not, just keep an eye out on that. I'll obviously be updating on Twitter and stuff. But they're going to start doing Black Ops 2 tournaments again. I don't know how regular they're going to be, but if you were someone that didn't compete during Black Ops 2 and you're watching this video, get the game. Whatever way you can. If you already got the game, that's a bonus. You probably did have the game anyway, but you may have not competed. But enter these, sign up to the Gfinity website, enter these tournaments and really get the feeling of Black Ops 2 and what it was and how great it was. But not only that, sign up to all the other Call of Duty tournaments as well. And make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you like this video. Hopefully a couple of you guys agree. I bet you any money a couple of you guys agree when you actually think about it. But anyway, I'll see you all later. Goodbye. I don't know why I do that in outro. That's really weird. Gotta stop doing that.